Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:50. And Boston with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with some rain showers and a high of 90. It is 67 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Travis Kelce isn't just the future subject of a Taylor Swift breakup song. He's fully invested in Taylor's job, and she's invested in his. Travis just did an interview with GQ, and he spent a lot of time trying to convince us that he and Taylor are just like any normal couple, sitting around at dinner, talking about their workday, and being each other's sidekick.
And sitting around millions of dollars.
Well, that's neither here. Yeah, but they're just like us.
Actually, they're nothing like us at all.
You don't think he leaves the toilet seat up and she has to say something to him?
Well, those things are probably some similar commonalities, but I think it's when you are talking about a relationship that brings you well over $1 billion between the two of you, that's not like us at all.
He says, I get to be the plus one, and I get to be a fan. I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of art, and it's so cool that I get to experience her being that plus one for me on the football field. I feel the same enjoyment every time she comes to my shows. That means two things. Travis admits that he made Taylor a football fan. He said she's the most engulfed fan now. She knows that what the injury reports look like. She understands what special situations are, like third and short. She just naturally loves to hear about my job. She could coach the Jets.
I'm sure she's quite engulfed.
Yeah, she could be the coach for the Jets.
Can't do much worse.
But he did say they bonded over fame and athleticism. He explained, I hadn't experienced somebody in the same shoes as me having a partner who understands scrutiny. He's in love with her. That's what it comes down to her. If you want more Travis and Taylor, and let's face it, who doesn't? Taylor will be on the Kelce Brothers podcast, New Heights. They say it drops at 7 p.m. Eastern today.
Oh, dude, that was yesterday that happened. They were showing clips of it already.
Well, they were showing clips of it. The full episode drops today.
Oh.
So
I've never been more excited about anything in my life than I am right now by that very prospect.
So basically, when did they tape this? Like 2 weeks ago?
Probably like a couple of days, maybe like over the weekend. You know, when no one's doing nothing.
Kevin Hart is teaming up with Netflix for a new competition series to find the next big stand-up comedian. He'll be joined by a group of comics who will be announced at a later date. Netflix says the contestants will, quote, face rigorous tests that mirror a real-life journey of a comedian, from brutal open mics to bomb sets and rewrites to the pressure of big stage performances. This was good the first time when it was called Last Comic Standing.
Yeah, but now it's something totally different. Now, you're not ripping that franchise off at all.
Yeah, the competition will give viewers an unvarnished look at comedy's darkest corners and brightest spotlights with challenges inspired by some of the comics' actual career trajectories.
Will there be any episodes in which comedians come together for a $20 comedy show with a dinner?
Well, you know what? Maybe I should apply and be on the show.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
You know, I did try out years ago for Last Comic Standing on NBC. Quickly, what you find out is that they're not just they don't take people off the street. There's no, like, you know, when they go through that whole, oh yeah, this guy, completely unknown, and he rose to fame, and he wins the Last Comic Standing. These people already have agents.
Yeah,
the whole, it's theater, it's entertainment, the people sitting outside on the sidewalk, that really happened because I was one of those people.
Right.
But none of those people made it to the actual show.
No, they had everybody already picked before this facade. And why they went through it, because it costs them money to have these kinds of things.
Yeah.
I wonder if they needed to do that legally.
Probably, to make it look like, you know, we were actually doing something. Either way. Let's see. Robert Plant just wrapped up the European leg of his tour with his new band Saving Grace. Their North American show kicks off in October. So far, they've been performing a few Led Zeppelin songs like The Rain Song and Ramble On, but don't expect Plant to sing some of their other hits. He says, quote, to do it for the sake of it was never what Zeppelin was about.
So he's not doing Stairway to Heaven
No.
or anything that people will be wanting to hear?
Plant adds, quote, what were the hits? How can they be related to now? Where do they fit? They fit as sort of a memoir. When people say that I don't like Stairway to Heaven, I just don't like the idea of it. These iconic things.
Now, at his age, and what is he, 80-something?
Yeah.
He's 76. When he sings Big Log, does he now refer to it as, like, softer, flaccid log?
Yeah, well, you're right, at his age. You know, he's...
Because I'm sure that thing's been beaten to death.
What about Sildenafil to Heaven? Is he,
He's buying some over-the-counter medications.
He says the song, they're just what they are, but, you know, most people have missed some of the best Zeppelin stuff. For Your Life, On Presence, Achilles' Last Stand, Effing Hell, just extraordinary that three people and a singer can do that. He also declined an invite from Black Sabbath guitarist Tony Iommi. Tony Iommi to attend Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning show. Quote, I said, Tony, I'd love to come, but I can't. I don't know anything about what's going on in the world now. I don't decry it. I've got nothing against it. It's just that I found these other places that are so rich. You know, to say you're not going to perform the songs that you were known for, isn't that kind of, you know, I know people evolve in music, but you also go back to...
But, you know, if you listen to Led Zeppelin songs and you listen to how he sang when he was in his early 20s, he might not be capable of singing a lot of those songs now. Because they're hard to sing when you're young, never mind singing when you're old.
Then you should just say that instead of saying, oh, well, you know, these songs, you know, I can't believe people still listen to them.
Say, I'm 76 years old, I can't hit those kinds of notes for that length of time anymore.
That's all you need to say.
I need to sit down and take a nap in between songs.
Peter Frampton, when he came out with an album like, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, it sounded like an old man singing Peter Frampton, like in a coffee shop. Hey, baby, I love you every day.
I'm in you.
Yeah.
You're in me.
Kim Kardashian was recently spotted at one of her favorite Italian restaurants where she was enjoying some fettuccine Alfredo until she apparently she took too big of a bite.
Really?
Because she had Alfredo sauce dripping down her chin and onto her chest.
Well, she must have had something to say.
Oh, my God, the last time I had anything thick and creamy on my chest was when Ray J sprayed me with gentleman's relish after exploring my mouth with his Nobinson Caruso in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
I love that story. Caitlin?
You like the Nobinson Caruso?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Well, I never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once abstained for a week before giving her a muffin stuffing on a 6-squirt Saturday. I was swinging my clam hammer at those pastrami drapes like Aaron Judge going after a 4-seam fastball.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is after taking a week off, I rode that fetus turtleneck so hard that I arrived with all I had until her lap looked like a pink cuttlefish drowning in Chobani. It's theater of the mind.
You're painting beautiful pictures.
And that is your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
You can make the argument. Springfield's Classic Rock at 612 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be rainy today, but hot. High of 90. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 84. It's 69, Gady, in downtown Springfield.
There's a very good possibility this show is going to become jam-packed with stuff. Now, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but we have comedian Leslie Robb on the phone after 7 o'clock. There's this guy, Marty Caproni, that may stop by later on. And then there may be some other stuff, too, and when we find out more about it, we'll let you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My God, what a busy show.
Well, hey, you know what? It's the condensed week. We have 4 days
Yeah, I get
versus 5.
But Steve, I didn't get into this business to be busy.
Why not?
I got into this business to avoid doing things like working hard for a living.
That's all you do is work hard.
Really, when you compare to what we do, to say like a guy like digging a hole in the ground to work on like wires or a sewer pipe, that's hard work.
Yes, if you're talking about manual labor.
Yeah,
but both of the jobs are mentally exhausting.
I mean, today I actually sharpened a pencil and I grabbed some new index cards. That's about as much physical work as I've done today.
I don't think you should downplay what you do.
Who's downplaying nothing? To me, I'm getting away with the biggest scam in America. You too, for that matter.
It's not really a scam.
It's a scam.
Well, look at all the work you put into this.
I'm looking around
every day,
trying to see what I'm doing here.
Well, you put the numbers down on that sheet for that lady to come in and take them every day. The times and the signatures.
Oh yeah, but I fudge a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, but if you didn't fudge, they'd have nothing to do. You're creating work for other people.
Yeah, well, that's their problem.
Speaking of which, I was talking about this yesterday about my kid wanting a nose ring, and we had this discussion yesterday morning about this whole thing. And I wouldn't talk about this unless it was okay with my kid. And we had discussed this.
Sure.
And I said, "Are you okay with me talking about it? Can I make a video about it?" Yes, of course. Because what we like to have in our house is like fun battles, is what I like to call them.
Coupled with the exploitation of our own children.
Well, I mean, if they're into it, why not? But I asked them if they want to do it. It's not like, if they didn't want to participate in it.
Oh, no, I get it. I'm totally with you on that one.
Yeah, but, it is entertainment. And should not be taken so seriously.
Did someone take this inappropriately?
Well, you probably didn't get a chance to look at all the comments on the Facebook post yesterday. But it was a tongue-in-cheek video that I made, and it was basically, regurgitated what I said yesterday morning. Yes, you can get a nose ring if I can get a tramp stamp that says "World's Greatest Dad" on it, right?
Which to me still seems like a very even trade.
And it creates engagement. That's what we're doing. We're blended everywhere. Oh, we want to get videos out and do things. You do sports stuff and whatever.
Right.
And I do this gibberish.
Yeah.
And but it's supposed to be like an interactive fun thing. It's not supposed to be filled with hate and vitriol and all that other good stuff. This one woman, most people are like deciding, okay, well, maybe when she's 16, you can allow her to have the nose ring, or maybe wait till she's 18 kind of thing,
right?
And it creates kind of a little buzz, and that's what it's for. One woman was like in capital letter, "Her body, her choice." And I'm like, my wallet, my rules. I don't know, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, and actually, her body, her choice. I think is there are arguments for that. But when it comes for something that you are going to pay for, well, then I think you have a little bit of say.
This isn't a baby; it's a nose ring. We're not. There are expectations of a parent to set rules and limitations and things like that, boundaries.
You're not going to have people standing outside like a Planned Parenthood with signs that say no late-term nose piercings. You're never going to see that.
Right. No, you're never going to see that. And it's just funny how people get so passionate about something that in a ridiculous argument. You're going to let a 13-year-old do whatever they want? No, that's not how that works.
You're not even going to let a 13-year-old drive. So what are you talking about?
And this woman goes into this. She's arguing with other people, and she's saying things like, I bet you force your child to hug, not me, but arguing with people. I bet you force your child to hug family members. I had no idea where she was going.
Where is this coming from?
I don't know. I have no idea. But this idea of, and I joke when I say free range children, I'm raising free range, you can pick and choose whatever you want. The type of parenting I do is I let them try things.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, then they don't have to do it. Like, I don't force them to do stuff they don't want to. All I do is say, hey, if you make a commitment to something, at least you got to finish the commitment. And then if you don't want to do it again after that, you don't have to do it again after that.
It's funny that you bring up, forcing people to hug family members. I was, I don't know, like junior high school, maybe even younger. I had a friend of mine who was going to come over, spend the night, going to have like a little sleepover, me and him, and make forts and stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad and I went to his house to pick him up. Kid comes out of the house, got a little, his sleeping bag and a bag full of stuff, and he hops in the car. My dad says, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. You go back out there and hug your mother goodbye. And he humiliated the kid enough to do it.
See, that's even worse than the actual hugging.
Yeah, but I laughed my ass off when the kid sheepishly went back to the house to hug his mother on the front step. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
Right, but I think this person was getting at something like, I don't know, like we're forcing children into doing things they don't want to. No, this is like a decision that a lot of parents have to make and go through, and it's okay to discuss those things and how you would do it. It's a tongue-in-cheek video.
It's also okay as a parent to say no to things.
Right, and that's the point. The point was no, this isn't going to happen.
Right.
But it is fun having the argument, and my kids are, they get engaged in the fun of it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And my kid said to me yesterday, I'm definitely going to convince you somehow to do this. And I'm like, you can convince me all you want, but it's kind of like, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
It makes it fun for me. A lot of people will get annoyed about that, but it's not this. She knows that it's not going to happen, but she's trying like hell to make it happen.
Well, she's learning some basic skills of negotiation and manipulation, which is what she's going to need to be a productive adult. She's going to need to know how to take advantage of people.
You saw the video. It was pretty compelling.
She made a good argument.
A couple of good arguments. I'm old enough to work. I'm old enough to do this. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, she said if you're going to get goats to chew to take care of the grass, then I should be able to choose a nose ring.
That's right. That's not really comparable. But,
not really, but you got to give her credit for at least trying to draw the parallel and combine these two things together.
Right. But as far as, so then I finally responded after other people were arguing back and forth. And I said, if it makes you feel any better, I asked my daughter if it was okay to talk about this and make a video about it. Her unwinnable argument, her choice.
I'm sorry. As a parent, you have the right
of course
to
you do.
say no.
Of course you do.
And you know what? Sometimes you do that for things that you can see their point, but on the other hand, you have to sometimes maintain some level of strength in that relationship.
But the video, I wasn't really genuinely asking for advice. The decision is already made. The video is, this company forcing us to put out 3 videos per shift per day, to be blended everywhere. So you got to come up with content, and they want stuff like that. They want personal content. That's the thing that they're trying to force feed out.
That's okay. That's all right, Steve. But to argue against you for making a parental decision is nonsense.
Yeah, and did you not realize when I said the tramp stamp thing that wasn't comedy or entertainment somehow?
Right.
I don't know. I didn't even say that to my kid. I didn't say the decision was, no, you're not old enough yet. And, when you're 18, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it comes down to.
But for the next 4 years, you're in my house.
Yeah. I just want to be to that lady. It's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. It's just entertainment.
It's 623 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Hey,
Rock 102 is throwing a big Rocktoberfest celebration on Sunday, September 21st at the Summit View in Holyoke. It's brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements and Aquapump. Early bird tickets are on sale now at rock102.com, but you got to buy them before August 18th. Otherwise, we're jacking up the price because we can. Admission includes traditional German food that everyone loves, the schnitzels, the pretzels, the what have yous. Also, party games and live music from the Stillwater Band, steins of German beer for sale as well. It's Rocktoberfest, brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements and Aquapump, September 21st at the Summit View, Route 5 in Holyoke. From Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
Sounds like a damn good time.
That's gonna be a load of fun.
Loads of fun. What else is going on? We got a loaded show this morning.
Yes. Not only will we have comedian Leslie Robb, who's going to be at Roar Comedy Club this weekend at MGM, but also Marty will be here. And then also Peter Newland, formerly of Fat. He's celebrating a birthday for a big fat show that we're giving away tickets for at 52 Summer. When is that? This week.
Yeah. And also, animal showman, what's his name?
Who?
Who's the guy that used to bring all the animals on the show?
Oh, my God. Why
can't I think of his name? Jack Hanna.
Jack Hanna. Yes, right.
Yeah, Jack Hanna will be in here.
Marlon Perkins will be here
Right.
from Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Yeah. Steve Irwin. No, he's not going to be here.
Actually, I don't believe any of them are going to be there.
Are you ready to laugh?
Jim Fowler, that's the other one. That's the other animal guy.
Jim Fowler.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, let's laugh.
Then you should probably go to a different radio show because this is not going to be funny.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's Classic Rock.
That was the joke. Like there's another radio station around to make you laugh.
No kidding.
A priest and a rabbi are sitting next to each other on a plane.
Yes.
And reading their books. When the priest turns to the rabbi and says, Rabbi, I'm curious about something. Does your religion still forbid you to eat pork? And the rabbi says, yes, that's still one of our laws. And the priest nods and asks, Rabbi, have you ever eaten pork? To which the rabbi says, yes, I succumbed to temptation once and tasted a ham sandwich. The priest nods sympathetically, and they both go back to their reading. A bit later, the rabbi turns to the priest and says, Father, doesn't your faith require you to remain celibate for your life? And the priest replies, yes, Rabbi, celibacy is still very much part of our faith. And the rabbi thinks for a minute and says, Father, have you ever fallen to the temptations of the flesh? And the priest says, yes, Rabbi, I was weak once and broke my vows. And the rabbi nods understandingly and falls silent for a few minutes and says, beats the crap out of a ham sandwich, doesn't it?
That's true.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that. That's true.
Where is it?
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
Here's your Western Mass News.
631 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news, and it is brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-in bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A woman was charged for allegedly defrauding investors through her West Springfield family-owned business in a $7 million Ponzi scheme. According to the Secretary of Commonwealth William Galvin Securities Division, a complaint was filed against Barbara Hirschfield of Lexington, Vice President of Ideal Financial Services, Inc., and Ideal Financial Holdings, Inc. Ideal has offered motor vehicle financing and small loans in Western Massachusetts for decades. The business was said to be focusing on financing motor vehicles and selling investment notes since around 1980, but dates back as far as 1948 when it was founded by Hirschfield's father as a successful business.
I'm sure the old man's very proud.
However, did you hear that whizzing sound? That's not your bearings.
That's
in
him
your
spinning
car.
in his grave.
Right. However, investors who purchased investment notes from Ideal Financial Holdings allege that Hirschfield had operated the company as a Ponzi scheme since at least 2019. The complaint stated that in 2012, Ideal was ordered by the Mass Division of Banks to halt the solicitation of outside funds to finance the business. In 2014, Ideal's license to operate in Massachusetts was reportedly revoked. It's just been revoked.
It's a $7 million Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, the complaint further alleges that despite losing its license, Ideal continued to sell promissory notes and pay interest to existing note holders Hirschfield allegedly continued to solicit new investors so the company could make interest payments to existing investors.
Yeah, that's where things get tripped up.
It's now been a case of she's been taking the money in to pay the old victims, and sooner than later, she ran out of money. So we know that beginning earlier this year, she stopped paying everybody, but she's continued to seek new victims, so she has to be stopped. Ideal has raised over $7.6 million from 180 investors. Approximately $7.2 million of these funds was allegedly used to pay interest or repay principal to other investors. You can only do that so many times before you run out of money.
Well, I mean, was her intention to do this, or was this one of those things where it just got out of hand and there you have it? Not that it makes it any better, because it's still, people have lost their shirts. But I mean, what level of maliciousness was involved in this thing?
It's probably like, oh wow, I can actually make some money doing this. And then it gets out of control.
Oh, I didn't realize I could go to jail for something like this.
The Mass Securities Division said that since early spring of 2025, it has received 54 complaints from investors who have not received money that Ideal owed them. Despite this, Hirschfield allegedly continued raising funds from investors until April of this year.
Well,
why, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, and then Bill and Mark and all the other guys, too.
Man, I don't know. I don't have that kind of creativity. First of all, if you're going to invest your money with anybody, you need to probably do a little bit of homework.
Yeah.
On on them. Then on the other hand, if this has been like a legitimate business for years, sometimes it's hard to know whether or not it's still operating as a legitimate business.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Southwick police are reminding residents to lock their vehicles and remove valuables after an increase in break-ins and stolen vehicles in the area. On Monday, the department stated on social media that the town has experienced numerous breaking and entering and stolen motor vehicles. They say it's also happening in surrounding communities. Residents should remove any valuables, including keys, from their vehicles and make sure they're locked. Police say most of the stolen vehicles had the keys or fobs left in them. Oh, did I leave that fob in there again?
I don't know. Maybe I don't leave any of that stuff in the car.
You know what it is? I think it's the safety of living out. Southwick's a fairly rural town, although it's building up very, very quickly in the last 10 years. But I think people just have that, I'm out in the country, I don't need to lock my door kind of mentality.
In fact, I'll just leave the door wide open and just have the screen be the barrier between being ripped off.
But I always said, like, these electric bikes that are silent.
Yeah.
You can't really. They're an easy getaway for thieves. Sometimes, if I'm out like 1 or 2 in the morning, coming home from somewhere,
right?
You see somebody riding on an electric bike at that time of night. You're like,
I know.
Sounds like you might be up to no good.
Listen, I know people have a false sense of safety and security, but lock your doors. Take your valuables out of your car. Don't leave, because when you leave stuff in your car, you're basically screaming at people, hey, look at all these valuables in my car.
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
That's exactly right.
There's a break-in in the neighborhood.
That's right.
A major shakeup in public safety is underway in the nation's capital. One day after Donald Trump took control of the D.C. Police Department, National Guard troops are expected to hit the streets. According to 22, it's National Fouard troops.
Fouard?
Yeah, I believe it's the F and the G. They're right next to each other on the keyboard.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Local leaders say they're still trying to figure out how this new chain of command will work. Trump has put Attorney General Pam Bondi in charge of the D.C. Police Department. Bondi met with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser on Tuesday. However we got here, right now we have more officers and we want to make sure we're using them effectively, said Bowser. D.C. Police Chief.
Yes. I don't know if it's someone like former singer Dee Khan.
No, I don't think. That says she's focused on results. We know we have to keep illegal guns off the streets, and if we had this enhanced presence, it's going to make our city even better. About 800 National Guard troops were deployed in the nation's capital. The Pentagon says 1 to 200 will work directly with police. Is D.C. this vast wasteland?
D.C. has had a crime problem for years and years.
But the numbers that came out this year that said the crime rate had actually dropped by 12%.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro. Where's the Epstein files?
I don't know, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. I'm too busy fighting crime in D.C.
See, this is another one of these shows. They're hiding the fact that, they don't want to keep talking about this Epstein file thing.
Listen, you know what? You could go on forever about this. It's funny to me how both sides are accusing each other of phonying up this whole story. It's like, well, there's truth in there somewhere, and I think we would love to know where the hell that truth is.
We should release the files.
That would be good.
To kind of expose everybody. But they're not going to do that because they're rich people and they don't care about us.
Actually, they won't do that because they're powerful people. Rich helps, but it's the power that it's the power that they are more scared of losing than a few bucks.
You make up a fake thing saying, hey, oh my God, we're under attack here in the nation's capital. We need to bring in the National Guard. They can do that down here in Springfield.
Yeah.
If somebody decides, hey, you know what? You got too much crime in Springfield. We're sending in National Guard troops. Would you be okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be okay with that. I mean, it seems to be like you're trying to do too much for it's like trying to take a 900-pound hammer for one that would just you could crush with your toe.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is why politics has become so nauseating to talk about, because there's truth somewhere. Just no one really knows where that truth is.
Well,
and it's really disgusting.
This is the first time I'm hearing that things have gotten so bad that we need to bring in military action.
The question is, and I don't want to get too into the weeds on this. I really, really don't. He's taking homeless people and getting them off the streets and allegedly housing them. And some people are saying, well, that's kind of the same as an internment camp. Could be. I mean, is it? I really have no idea. Well, one, I'm not there. And then two, I don't know who to believe anymore. It's impossible to get to the truth. And
if you watch a press conference, don't you believe what's coming out of the press conference?
No, I haven't believed a presidential press conference in maybe the last 30 years.
Yeah,
maybe even longer.
Yeah, let's get those Epstein files out. That's what I really want to see. You can do all this, fear mongering.
You're wagging the dog. That's what you're doing. You're wagging the dog.
Well, because they don't want to expose themselves. And I said this yesterday. They're all birds of the same feather. They all hang out with each other afterwards and they laugh their asses off, saying, "Hey, look what we did today. This is the big show."
Yeah.
Look at Trump and Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They're like buddy.
Oh, they're hanging out. They're probably having drinks after they're going to the reception.
They don't hate each other. They're all friends with each other. They're all it's part of this club.
It's part of the power structure that we have unfortunately been duped into putting into place, and we've been doing it for a long, long time. And it's a broken system.
But they make you think that you should be mad at your neighbor. When that's not the case.
I don't have enough space in my head to truly hate anybody just because of what they think.
But you've seen it. You've seen
totally. We've all seen it.
Going back and forth with each other you're the problem. No, you're the problem. No, they're the problem. That's the problem.
And unfortunately, they have gaslit us into believing that the only way to think is to believe that the other side is evil and un-American, and it's just look at us, look at ourselves, look what we've become.
This guy, the Democrats had the Epstein files for 40. See, this is where I'm going with this. Yeah, they've had the Epstein files for years, but they were also being prosecuted under Republicans. This has nothing to do.
It's not about party.
It's about power. And it's about money, and it's about protecting people that they don't want to exposed.
And it's about the crimes of powerful people.
Yeah.
And that's what we should be focusing on rather than say, ha, look at all the Republicans on that list. Yeah, well, they're right next to all the Democrats are on that list.
Wouldn't you have thought they would have released those files that have had Trump in them? It doesn't matter who's in them. They're all birds of the same. This is what people don't get. They're so fixated on that.
Yeah.
That it's this politics thing.
And don't think for a minute that if the other side, Republican or Democrat, has a chance to advance themselves in their own pursuit of power by demanding that these files get released. Don't think for a second that that's not all rhetoric, because the last thing they want is for those names to be exposed. But they will take advantage of the moment in talking about, we need to get these files out there. By the way, try to hide those files if you can. If I can get any kind of leverage as a result of this, I'm going to take it, because power is what I'm really more concerned about.
Yeah, this person says the last thing the government wants us for is to be united.
That's true.
Because when you keep us divided, then you win. They win. It's I don't know. Why do we protect pedophiles in this country? When it comes to rich people, we'll sit there all day long and watch a Chris Hansen episode of some scummy douchebag thinks he's talking to a 13-year-old boy and then getting arrested, and that's like entertainment. But when it goes above a certain price point in income, that's it.
Hard to argue with that.
Sorry, we can't do this.
It's very hard to argue.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be hot and humid and rain showers with a high of 90. It is 69 giggity in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. All right.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:52, and Lenny Kravitz with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy today with some rain showers and a high of 90. It is 69 giggity in downtown Springfield.
Hey, this week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest is singer, songwriter, and producer Chris Stamey. Chris Stamey used to play with a band called the DBs back in the early 80s, but he's played with a lot of other people as well, and has produced some pretty amazing records through the course of his lifetime. His latest album, Anything Is Possible, is a really, really good record. It's out later next month. He's coming to the Iron Horse on October 28th. That'll be a great show. You check out that interview on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, and on the app. And it's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee, and Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
You like soup?
I love soup.
You like Olive Garden soup?
I haven't really had much of their soup at the Olive Garden.
Well, diehard Olive Garden fans are amped after finding out you can order soup by the gallon. Literally comes in a bucket. So do I.
Suddenly, I no longer want the soup.
Yeah, it's never really been a secret. You just have to order through their catering menu. Their 4 soups are, how do you say this? Is it gnocchi? How do you say? Gnocchi?
Yeah.
I did it all for the gnocchi?
Yes.
The gnocchi?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, chicken and gnocchi, pasta fagioli.
I love a good pasta fagioli. That's good stuff.
Minestrone and zuppa toscana.
Mm-hmm.
Food and Wine pointed out Olive Garden's catering portions are only available for delivery or to go, so you can't sit there and gross everyone out by eating a bucket of soup at the bar. Forget it. I'm out then. I'm out.
Then what's the point?
Yeah, if you can't sit there and eat from a trough of soup.
Sir, do you want a spoon? No, I'll just drink it right from the bucket.
Well, you need a spoon to cool it off each mouthful.
Well, they don't give it to you hot. They probably give it to you cold.
Well, yes, but they're saying it's not. You can't eat it in the restaurant.
That's too bad.
Food and Wine pointed out their catering portions are only available for delivery or to go. You can order half-gallon or full-gallon buckets. Prices vary by location, but they do cut you a deal for buying your soup in bulk. I've had what is it? Any BJ's. You ever go to BJ? You ever get BJ's soup?
No, I haven't.
They have, I think it's Panera bread or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that I've had.
I've had that before. It's like a broccoli cheddar soup or something.
Sure.
It's so salty. It doesn't even taste good. like you have to have a high tolerance of salt intake in order to enjoy those jarred soups like that.
Well, all those processed
Yeah.
foods are loaded with salt. One, it helps in the, preventing it from rotting.
Right.
And then sometimes when soup doesn't have any salt in it, it's terrible.
Yeah, well, I've had Progresso like low sodium soup. Ugh,
It's terrible.
that's gross too.
I actually have to put salt in it just to eat it.
I know it's a pain in the ass, but it's much better to make your own.
I tell you what, making soup at home is not that hard. You just gotta know what you're doing, and you gotta be patient. It takes time, but it's always worth it in the end to do it yourself.
I got a buddy from Syracuse who brought me sausage. I smoked sausage yesterday.
That means two things.
Actually, it only means one thing, but it's this brand of sausage that's only found in the central New York area, which I think they were selling it at Aldi, but then I haven't seen it in a while. It's called Gianelli brand sausage. It's like
I've seen that.
It's the big sausage brand of central New York,
Right.
and it is. I think it's one of the best Italian sausages I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
And so it's like a treat every year when my friends come up. They'll bring me some of this thing. He bought me these two big giant rings of it, and
Hot or sweet?
Sweet. I like the sweet. I'm not a big fan of the hot stuff. There's something. It makes it more dry, I think, when it's hot. That's my opinion. But anyway, it's got this nice casing on it that it stays juicy. I don't like when the sausage dries out.
Yeah. Yeah. You like a nice juicy sausage. When you put a sausage in your mouth, you want it to be.
I want it to explode.
Yeah, I get it.
I want it to spurt out like that gum.
Aren't you worried that some of that juice is gonna get down on your chin or on your shirt?
I've stopped worrying about the shirt thing. I'm guaranteed to ruin a shirt, no matter what I eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds delicious.
I bought this nice white shirt last week, which was a mistake. Because, and I was like so proud of myself that I had gotten almost all the way through the evening without getting anything on it.
Right.
And then when I got home, I realized, there's a little splash of red sauce on there from the pasta I had earlier tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Maybe you're better off eating pasta with sauce without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I mean, the other people in the restaurant might not like that, but at least you'll save your shirt.
That should be a rule. That whole no shirt, no shoes, no service thing, that's something that should be changed.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm not wearing a shirt, it's because I'm very hot or I don't want to stain the shirt.
Yeah,
and women should be allowed to do it, too. In fact, I strongly encourage it.
Especially if you're eating a hot gallon bucket of soup at an Olive Garden bar.
Yeah.
You should be able to take your shirt off and relax like you're at home.
Otherwise, you're just going to get soup all over yourself.
That's right.
And then what are you going to do? You're going to go out and buy another shirt. What a rip.
All right.
It's 6:59 at Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, you ever stood at the security checkpoint at a major international airport? And have you ever taken that opportunity to try out some of your best comedy material? Especially the stuff about terrorism, shoe bombs, and hijackings? Man, I'll tell you, while that stuff might be hilarious and well-crafted comedy gold, I think you'll find that despite the best setups and punchlines, you still have to be able to read the room. And unfortunately, the TSA security checkpoint is no place for that sort of material. And it's been that way for years. Sadly, that's the way comedy is. You got to know the room and you got to understand your audience. This is why sometimes it's best to leave comedy in the hands of qualified professionals. For example, this week, University of Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer found himself in a bit of a pickle with the NCAA after screenshots of his Venmo account became public. In these screenshots, the picture referenced transactions listed specifically as sports gambling. Here's the problem. The NCAA prohibits college athletes from gambling on sports. Yesterday, John Mateer publicly addressed these transactions, saying that he's never bet on sporting events and the transactions listed on his Venmo account were nothing more than an inside joke with some of his friends. That's hilarious. Unfortunately, I can say this with 100% confidence. The NCAA has long been notorious for their horrible sense of humor. In fact, you can make a very compelling case that the NCAA does not have one. So when you tell them, hey, it was all a big joke, then the NCAA are likely to be the last people in the world to get it. Even if you explained why it's potentially hilarious, it is very unlikely that they would pay $20 to the shortstop in Westfield to listen to that kind of humor. So let's look at this as a teachable moment in the execution of effective comedy. Because while that sort of thing may play at your local open mic night, you're never going to get away with that kind of stuff in the big rooms. And you'll never get away with that sort of hack material with the NCAA sitting in the audience. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You think Benjamin Moore sells their paint at just any old place like the Quickie Mart or the Dollarama? Heck no. You only get Benjamin Moore paint at independent retailers with trained paint professionals inside the store. And around here, you'll find that at Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:13, and Bon Jovi with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be thunderstorms today with a high of 90. It is 69 giggity in downtown Springfield.
Great comedy show coming to the Roar Comedy Club at MGM on Saturday. It's comedian Leslie Robb. She's on the phones right now. Good morning, Leslie. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
Leslie, you're an award-winning, I'm reading your website, international comedic motivational speaker, teacher, and professional development presenter. But what have you done with your life?
Well, that's what the website says. Let's not believe everything we read on the internet, right?
Well, it's your website.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's coming right from you or a publicist or something.
This isn't like some made-up Wikipedia page. You put this in there.
Definitely not.
But you're pretty
I've definitely put the work in.
But you're pretty versatile, and not only do you do your comedy in the show, but you do motivational speaking as well. Is that part of what you're going to be doing on Saturday?
Yeah. So Saturday, I am there to make the audience laugh, but to encourage them all at the same time. It's my jam. I love doing it. So if you want some good, clean laughs that'll have you rolling and your stomach muscles working, definitely you want to come out.
Now, Leslie, guys like us have been around here for a long, long time, and I can't think of two dudes who need more motivation than Steve and I. So if we went to the show, what are you going to try to motivate us to do?
Basically, to try to just live your best life. And the craziness that our world is right now, we all need a little pick-me-up. And so that's the purpose of my comedy, is to bring you a pick-me-up to make you laugh, but also inspire you to just keep going.
The correct answer was start an interview on time, because we didn't do that this morning.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. I mean, I guess we could go with that if we want.
Well, I mean, you get what you get, Leslie. I mean, that's how it works on this show. But your website also talks about not just being a motivational speaker, but also about teaching. And you do a lot of speaking for teachers and educators. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness, it has been such a journey in bringing laughter to teachers, because let's be for real, burnout is real and the teacher shortage is real for good reason. So I try to do my part to keep us laughing about the craziness that only we as teachers get. So
now, are you a teacher, or have you been a teacher?
Yes, I am a high school teacher.
Oh, God bless
Yes,
you.
and this is, guys, believe it or not, y'all, this is my 18th year of teaching.
So my wife is a teacher in Springfield, special ed teacher at the high school level.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I know
God
exactly.
bless her. Special ed is no joke.
No joke at all. So I know exactly what you're talking about, because there are days when she will come home where she just cannot physically talk to me for at least a good half hour. She just needs.
Oh, at least. And the fact she's doing good if she can do a half hour. I take an hour.
Sometimes 45 minutes, depending on the day, but a good 30 minutes is usually where we fall.
Well, you got to remember,
That's
Leslie,
the sweet spot.
she's coming home to take care of another child after taking care of children all day. So,
Woo. I mean, that'll do it.
yeah.
So
That'll do it right there.
So what did you teach, or what do you teach?
Believe it or not, I teach family and consumer sciences, which used to be called home ec, but now it's more politically apparently correct to call it family and consumer sciences.
Why would they change it? Home economics makes perfect sense.
Apparently, it was offensive to females. I don't know. I have no idea. At the end of the day, I just call it home ec because then people get it. I don't know.
I mean, you're a female. How angry are you that someone once called it home ec?
Believe it or not, furious. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. I don't care. I'm so easy. I'm always like, it is what it is. Like, home ec is what we've always called it. It's just what we go with. But no, not anymore. It's family and consumer sciences, guys.
Now, all right. So, what has changed? It's been almost 30 years since I've been in high school. What has changed in the home ec, or what do you call it now? What is it? What did you say it was?
Family and consumer sciences.
The home ec. We'll just call it the home ec class. What has changed in home ec over the last 20 to 30 years?
Basically, it's turned into more of adulting 101. It used to be more of like cooking and housekeeping and those type of things. Now it's evolved. So it's more of adulting, like how to get an apartment, teaching kids about parenting skills, teaching them about finances and personal finance. And then we also do life skills. So, yeah, so it's a roundabout way of teaching them different things to, help them adult.
I've always thought that kind of stuff should be taught as soon as they get into like first grade, like just little bits and pieces of like, things like that to kind of prepare you.
Like a second grader should know how to invest their money in a 401k.
Right.
Exactly. Well, that's what we teach them about at our level.
So this is
at the high school level.
So, I mean, our kid. I mean, you've been teaching this for 18 years. I mean, are kids today receptive to this kind of thing, or have the kids changed over the course of years?
Have you met the kids of today? Yeah,
I have. I have met the kids. I gave birth to some of the. Well, I didn't give birth. I was involved in the birthing of kids today.
So you're the culprit.
Oh, it's probably my fault. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, no, the kids today they're no joke. It has definitely evolved in the 18 years I've taught. The kids of today, you have to almost convince them that, listen, I promise you you're going to need this. I actually had one kid in my hospitality class, guys, no lie, ask me, when am I ever going to use this? I'm like, hospitality? I'm like, it's like the most basic thing ever, but sure. Let me explain how you're going to use this.
Courtesy?
Yeah.
Well, when am I ever going to use that kind of stuff? Kindness?
Exactly.
Mrs. Rob, can I have a lav pass? I'm kind of tired of listening to this right now.
Right, I'm over this.
Yeah.
That's usually what I get. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
either that or they're like, Miss Rob, I'm going to pass anyway, so I'm just not going to do it.
You
get that a lot.
It is. I think they're important life skills to learn because you talk about kids and how attached they are to electronics these days, and how they're just watching video after video after video of other people doing things. It doesn't really seem to be a motivation for them to be doing things themselves. So that must be a challenge for you.
Oh, it is. And now with AI, it's even more challenging because if kids feel like, what do they need us for? So, that can be difficult to combat as well. So the apathy, let's just be for real, is real.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
How have you picked up on them using AI for like homework and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
And then how?
My friend says it best. As the English teacher, they submit an assignment. If it has a comma, it was AI.
Yeah. It was
kids today should not be using that kind of punctuation.
It's funny. I was speaking with a local college professor here, a few months ago, and he was talking about the use of AI. And I said, "Well, how do you know that they're using AI?" And he goes, "Well, this particular student put the information up, and he took out dashes and things like that would indicate that it was AI. However, he left the paragraph in that says, 'Would you like me to elaborate and come up with other points on how to put this in?'" Yeah. So that was a big fat F that kid got.
For sure.
Right.
And some of the kids will make a mistake and leave the little disclaimer at the end that says generated by AI. I'm like, yeah, nice try.
Yeah.
This is comedian Leslie Robb. She's going to be at the Roar Comedy Club on Saturday. My dad worked in the school system for many years. Like I said, my wife is a teacher too. And one of the things that I have noticed is that sometimes the kids are the easy part of being a teacher, and it's all the other stuff you have to deal with that may be that's real difficult too.
100%. It comes with a myriad of things, not just teaching. Teaching isn't just teaching anymore. That's for sure.
I mean, and I'm sure you probably talk at least a little bit about that, and you will on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, and I make it funny, so that's even better.
Even better.
Awesome.
Very good.
Comedian Leslie Robb going to be at MGM Roar in Springfield this Saturday, August 16th. Show starts at 8 p.m. You can buy tickets at mgmspringfield.com. Leslie, we appreciate the time this morning. Thanks so much for coming on with us.
Oh, no, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. See you guys on Saturday, whoever's listening. Whoop, whoop.
All right, good luck with the show.
Leslie Robb
Okay, thanks, guys.
with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
GG Inc.'s
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 7:29, and the Eagles of Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
We got a lot going on this morning. Peter Newland from FAT will be joining us later on, I believe, this hour, and then maybe even Marty Caproni will be joining us.
Who?
He's a local comedian.
Never heard.
A little shorter than me, wildly funny, been around for a long time.
Never heard of the guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe we'll get a chance to introduce you two chaps, see how you get along.
I know a guy named Cardi Maproni. Is that the same
Cousins. Distant cousins. Very, very distant cousins.
Like Patty Duke show cousins?
Yes, just like that. They look similar, but they're nothing alike.
I don't know why that popped into my head, and I don't know why I'm singing the theme song in my head. I used to watch that on Nick at Night.
Yeah, I don't know why that would come into your head. I mean, that was like 30 years before your time.
It was 30 years before my time, but when we finally got cable television in I think it was like 1990, and Nick at Night used to have all of those shows on.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Ed and Patty Duke show, and what was the other one?
My Favorite Martian.
My Favorite Martian.
Oh yeah,
all those old TV shows used to be. It's almost like I feel like I lived through the entire era watching all that stuff.
Well, that's a great way to catch up.
You know what was a great show that's no longer on anymore?
What?
Dream On. Remember from HBO?
Yes.
And it was basically almost like the original Family Guy, but it's a real live action thing, and anytime something comes up, they automatically do a flash to an old movie or a television show.
Or a dream sequence or something.
Right,
yeah.
because this guy had grown up on just, the parents just let him sit in front of the TV his entire life.
I totally forgot about that show. That was actually a very, very funny show.
It was very funny. I probably shouldn't have been watching it at 12.
No, but I mean, but think about how you matured after seeing that show.
Actually, it was an inspiration for a lot of the comedy that I do today.
See? There you go.
All right.
Had it not been for Nick at Night, where would you be today?
WMAS.
We got news next to Rock 102.
Here's your
7:34 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-in bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax.
Hold on.
Wait. I'll do it. I'll push the button. I can push the button.
I can push a button.
All right. Well, you want me to push the button?
Push the button.
There you go.
Okay.
Which one is that?
All right. That's Peter Newland.
Okay, that's Peter
And Marty
Newland.
is driving in.
Okay.
All right. So then Marty will show him down here.
But
then we're gonna have to buzz Marty in.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to do that. Hang on a second. Let me just hang on.
All right.
Just hang out upstairs.
This is why.
Yeah.
When we say we need a producer.
All right, here.
We need a producer.
When you come in, you bring our guest down. You're our new producer.
All right. Hold on. First of all, I've never seen Marty run.
Is he running?
Well, I mean, it's a swift trot.
Yeah. Is he coming to the door?
Yeah, okay, there he is. All okay. Right. All right.
There you go.
There.
All right, well, let's see.
It's like a 40-yard dash. I've never seen that guy's little legs move like that.
He's trying out to be our new producer.
Yeah, well,
Now I can't see the office upstairs, so I can't see if he's bringing him down.
I believe they'll be coming down together.
Why is the cameras out?
Because we only have cameras. We have cameras all over the building, but for our purposes, we don't want to see what's going on inside the building.
Right.
And like that.
Did you bring the guest down?
I'm the guest.
No, the other guest that was upstairs.
Oh, I just saw a guy walking around. I wasn't.
Yeah,
that's the other guest. That's
I
Peter
just
Newland
texted-
from
I-
Fat.
I just texted you.
Oh, I didn't know he was in studio.
Yeah.
What's his name, son?
His name is
Peter
Peter
Newland.
Newland, and he's from the
wow.
band Fat.
Yeah.
And go get him. And you're the producer. Go get him.
Yeah, today's the producer of the day.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, it's time for news. What's going on, Steve?
That dude with the golf tournament was the producer yesterday.
And for a brief glimmer, Scott Cohen was our producer on Monday.
What was his name? Don Amici or
Paul Federici.
Paul Federici.
Yeah,
all right,
that's right.
Well, whatever. This is the wacky part of the Wacky 102 morning show.
Paul could produce the show
Yeah.
and do our taxes at the same time.
Well, here's something else. A summer school graduation ceremony was held at Symphony Hall on Tuesday.
I'm sorry, isn't it August?
I know, but summer school ends.
Oh, summer school.
Yeah.
I thought it was like just a graduation that they waited until summer.
This occasion honors the hard work, dedication, and achievements of students who have successfully completed their summer studies to become members of the Springfield Public Schools graduating class of 2025. Okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Okay.
Oh yeah, come on in.
Come on, everybody have a seat.
Everybody come in and have a
comfortable.
seat.
Peter's
Yeah.
here.
Peter's
Marty's
here.
here.
Marty's
it's all
here.
great. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get to you guys in a little bit.
We'll
Don't
get to
worry
you
about
in
that.
just a minute. We're just finishing up the news. Most people corral out in the hallway, but we'll
That's
make
all
an
right.
exception
Take your
for that.
time. No problem.
Hey, is this your first day on the job?
I thought I'm fired.
That's all right. That's all right. I thought when they said summer school graduation, I had to go to summer school when I was in 10th grade.
Really?
For a social studies class. There was no graduation ceremony.
They just said,
Yeah,
get out.
I didn't understand that these are kids that were actually finishing up their high
Well, see,
school
that makes
degree.
all the sense in
I
the
know,
world.
but can you imagine if there was just like graduation for a regular summer school? Like, summer school graduation?
I never had to go through summer school.
I'm sorry.
I excelled with a perfect C average.
If you're so smart, why did you just waste all that money at a Jesuit school?
That shows how stupid I am.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
you should have gone to summer school.
Jesuit college or not, there was a low bar set at that place.
How low of a bar?
Me and Chris Farley got in.
Yeah. That's a good point.
It's a good point.
If you're a Greenfield resident, the city's asking you to conserve water in these dry conditions. While the state hasn't issued a drought warning, city officials say they're taking precautions to ensure the water supply is sustainable for all residents. They say the DPW has stopped drawing water from the Green River, doing it to being at a low level, but the public... I'm sorry. This is another spelling mistake. The pubic also plays a role in water conservation.
Well,
I got to take a screenshot of that. Hang on a second. Before it gets the pubic. Well, that's why the water's bad.
Well, what was it? No wonder no one should be swimming in there. What was the spelling error yesterday from Western Mass News?
It was Springfield. It was spelled Spurperfield. Spurpingfield.
These are the same people that were making fun of the town of Ludlow for putting Massachusetts on their garbage cans.
Yeah, they were the ones that said, "You think they would use spell check?" Hello, pot. This is the kettle. You're black.
Coincidentally, if you live in Ludlow, pubic does play a part in your water conservation.
Right, but this is Greenfield they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
This,
All right, sorry.
I mean, that's par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pubic also plays a role in water conservation.
Yeah, that's all right.
Residents are also asked to postpone non-essential water use, like washing your car, and to limit outdoor watering for lawns and gardens. You can also save water by taking shorter showers, minimizing toilet flushing, and only running full loads in your dishwasher. Is that what you're calling it these days?
Well, again, if we're going to talk about the pubic water supply,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're involved in the pubic water supply, make sure you don't put a full load in your dishwasher
That's right.
or your laundry machine.
That's going to help the pubic welfare.
This has really gone downhill in the last.
It's quite all right,
5
Steve. You know what?
minutes.
You can end this now, and we can move on with the show. Peter
All right.
Newland's
I
here.
get you. All right,
Having a
well-
birthday this week and everything.
Water happens around that area.
Yeah,
I know.
Liquid thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense to me.
Peter's here. Marty's here. We're gonna have it's gonna be like a big party here in just a minute.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be cloudy with some thunderstorms possible. High of 90 tomorrow. More of the same with a high of 84. It is 69 giggity in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
To Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:49 and Van Halen with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Thunderstorms today with a high of 90. It is 71 in downtown Springfield.
In 1968, Peter Newland formed the band Fat in Springfield. That was about 1 million years ago. He is about to turn, and I think you did it, Peter, when you were 4 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. So can we move on?
Yeah.
Move a little closer.
You know,
Yeah, move a little closer to that.
Yeah, in the studio with us is.
and I was doing fine until Zoom. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well,
And
exactly.
then all of a sudden the conference call, and all these people up there go, "Hey, wait a minute, you're old." I went,
You're not. You mean technically? I suppose numerically you're old, but you've been busy as hell. And in fact, tell us about this big birthday party that they're throwing for you.
Yeah, so we're doing something down at the new club on Sumner Avenue, 52 Sumner, and I'm trying to do something. I try to do 1 or 2 things a year because I still love to play, and I understand time moves on and demographics change and all that. But what are you going to do when that's what you love to do? So I try to do 1 or 2 things a year, that are a little bit different, sort of imaginative, and keep me, as relevant as I can be. And this year we caught the greatest blues rock band in the country on in a sweet spot on their tour, and picked them up to bring them in here. The Blood Brothers, it's called Blood Brothers. It's Mike Zito and Albert Castilla. These guys got 14 Blues Music Awards, which is like the Blues Grammy.
Wow.
Between them, and it's just a hot band. And I'm bringing in my band with a lot of great area players. Fat is going to come in and do a short set in between, in the middle of my set. And we're just going to have a party down there. It's going to be a good time. 52 Sumner, 7 o'clock Friday night.
That sounds like fun.
The fan base has remained very strong.
They really, yeah.
You get a lot of people that still love to come back and watch you perform and watch Fat perform, and it's one of those kind of like timeless New Englandy things,
Well,
what I mean?
it is, and that's one of the reasons why through its ups and downs, I love this city so much, is because they've always been loyal, and they were there when we took off for the big ride, and then when that didn't happen, they were there, and they stood by us, when we needed the place to come home to. And the interesting thing is, we have families now. I mean, I got people that they were dating and they came to a Fat show. They got met, and they got married. We played at their wedding, and now they bring their kids back. We got 3 generations of families coming back to see us.
I think the last time you were in the studio was quite a number of years ago, and we talked about the history of the band, and you kind of mentioned about what Fat really was. And, back in the day, this was a band that was, the trajectory was everything seemed to be going in the right direction.
Right.
And then in 1979, I think it was, you guys had a deal in place with Atlantic Records.
Right.
And for whatever reason, and this is not new stories because record companies have a tendency to do really stupid things, it somehow got, the deal fell apart.
If you read the financial history of the business, though, I mean, so much of it, there are a lot of things that came into play, but the biggest thing that came into play, who was the guy at Criteria said, it all changed overnight. They used to bring a bag of money and say, call us when the record's done. And then all of a sudden, in 79, when we signed, my impeccable timing, we signed my deal in 79, and Saturday Night Fever, right?
Yep.
Biggest quarter in the history of the music business. Then, hello, MTV is what, 5 years away?
5 years away.
Maybe 5 years away, and that whole thing happened where everybody thought, hey, let's make $1 billion and go in. All these venture capital went into the music business, and they were buying up all sorts of, they were buying millions of CDs and sticking them in, Throughway Records or whatever, these big discount places. and they pulled that whole shingling with the overpricing the CD, and it was a perfect recipe for the fact that they had grown revenue, I think, almost 25% a year for the previous decade.
Yeah.
And then it was down. Then it was down 15, or more. And they just, they do what businesses do.
Well, what's interesting about it is that same kind of story has been played out hundreds of times with bands that should have been household names and should have been huge, but because of the flavor of the day, or whatever it may have been, it fell apart and it didn't happen. And unfortunately, or even fortunately, because Fat didn't go down that road. But on the other hand, you guys still play. You still have
We
have
didn't
fun.
make enough money to kill ourselves.
All right, see, so it all worked out. Here you are. You're 77 years old. You're having a birthday party. It all worked out.
But it's so I'm writing a book. I'm just finishing a book. I've been working on it for 3 years. But it's about that. It starts there. And it's interesting that you bring that point up, because just because that was a huge deal. I mean, I was ready. They said, you're the new Stones. They did.
Yeah.
And then they called up and said, sorry. And so that's tough. And it'd be tough for anybody. But listen, you got 1 million applicants. You got 20 openings. What are the odds? And so it took me a while, really, to come to grips with the fact that, hey, you're not the only guy that this happened to.
And of those 20 openings, there's probably only 2 or 3 slots open for the management trainee program. So, I mean, the funnel gets thinner and thinner as time goes on.
Absolutely. So it took a while to sort of for that all to kind of sink in, and for me to put it into proper perspective. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. There's when you finally wake up one day and you put on your big boy pants and go, hey, there's 20,000 of you walking around in this country that the same thing happened, like wham, wham, wham.
Yeah.
Get on with it. And
well, it's nice to be referred to as, hey, you're the new Stones versus you're the new Bay City Rollers or something like that. Something
right.
like embarrassing. But, I mean, but I think it's a cool experience, though, regardless of how it played out.
Without a doubt. And for me, artistically, Jerry Wexler and Ahmet Erdogan signed me. And, Ahmet, flew in from the Bahamas, from the AC/DC thing, and gave me the old European kiss here, kiss there. So for me, to have that sort of imprimatur, and a stamp of excellence on my work, you know what I mean? And then you just get back to, so you can't be, a rock star, so you still want to play music, so you play music. And that's why I'm doing this.
Peter, one of the things that I've learned over the years, not just doing this job, but doing some other things and other research that I've done, is that some of the greatest music that has ever been made never got heard.
You're like speaking my language.
Yeah.
And if you ever want, I spent 12 years in Nashville, and you knew the guy that was pumping your gas was better at what you did than you were. So there's so much of it. There's like Shelley Finkel, who was my manager at the time, said it's so much of it's just timing.
The show this weekend is going to be at 52 Sumner, August 15th. The Blood Brothers with Peter Newland and Fat. It's going to be a great night. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much.
We happen to have a pair of tickets to that show. We'll give them out to the 10th caller right now at 293-1021. Peter Newland and Fat, great to see you.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you again.
Thanks for coming in.
You bet. It's 7:58 on Rock 102.
Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'll be honest, whenever I use the company's email system or the company's provided a Wi-Fi, I almost never use it for my own disgusting, depraved, and deviously intended purposes. I do that stuff at home. More importantly, I don't do any of these things on company-issued equipment. I'd much rather spew my bile-infested ill intentions in private where it belongs. Why? Because when that day comes that my employer has had quite enough of me, it won't be because I was sending D-pics on company time. As some of you may recall, in 2021, the Las Vegas Raiders organization was pressured into firing head coach John Gruden for allegedly sending a series of racist, misogynistic, and homophobic emails to Bruce Allen, the general manager of the Washington Commanders. Gruden contends that it was the NFL that intercepted and leaked these emails to the press. He also accuses the league of maliciously pressuring the Raiders into releasing him. On Monday, the Nevada Supreme Court ruled that the NFL, and specifically Commissioner Roger Goodell, were complicit in a closed-door arbitration hearing to get Gruden fired. Gruden, who has filed a civil lawsuit against the NFL, said yesterday, quote, "I'm looking forward to having the truth come out, and I want to make sure what happened to me doesn't happen to anyone else." Now, I'm no lawyer, but I've given this case a lot of consideration, and while I suppose you can make the argument that the NFL might not have correctly followed procedures in pressuring the Raiders to get rid of this guy, that doesn't erase the fact that John Gruden is still a homophobic, misogynistic racist. And even if he wins that case against the NFL, he will still be a homophobic, misogynistic racist. He'll just be a homophobic, misogynistic racist with a few bucks from a civil judgment. And that might just make him the worst kind of homophobic, misogynistic racist, because now he'll have the validation of the court system, and that might be a problem. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Craftsman tool deals at Rocky's. How about the 8-piece screwdriver set, $20, or the 12-gallon wet dry vac, $100, or the Craftsman battery blower plus weed whacker trimmer, 2 batteries, and a charger, $140. Beat that. You can't, can you? No, you can't, because Craftsman tool deals are available right now at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102. Springfield.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 9:12 and Rush with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today. Chance of a thunderstorm later this afternoon with a high of 90. It is 73 right now in downtown Springfield.
Well, look at this. What a surprising change of direction. It's comedian Marty Caproni in the studio.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man?
Not much. You know, I'm just here today out of the goodness of my heart because we got no show this Thursday.
No, but there is one on the 28th.
There is one on the 28th.
Yeah. And you can never plug fast enough or too early.
This is true. Well, and we'll tell people after the last one, make sure you get your tickets ahead of time because we're starting to pack up now. We're starting to we've got pretty good shows here,
which is kind of, I don't want to say odd, but unlike summer. Summer usually pretty thinned out, but we had a pretty solid crowd the last time, and it continues to build up.
I think a lot of that's a credit to the shortstop, to the job they do putting on the dinner, and the staff does serving everyone.
You don't think that has something to do with the shameless self-promotion of us talking about it ad nauseum?
That's probably a large percentage of it. Yeah.
Don't feed Nabil's ego. He doesn't need.
I love Nabil.
I know, but he gets too much of the pump sometimes.
No, Nabil's great. All right, we'll feed Monica's ego.
Way to kill the room, Steve.
Monica's the real brains of the food. She's the brains of the operation.
She does a good job on the food and the hospitality. So, we're excited to see what happens coming out of summer now.
Now, over the weekend, you and I were down at River.
I know where you're going with this already.
We were down at River doing a show, and after the show, you had somebody that you went to college with, right?
Yeah, I had two friends of mine that came out from college. My friend Lou and my friend Jen. Mm-hmm. They were college sweethearts who got married. They've probably been married, I bet you, 25 years now. Mm-hmm. Great people. Lou is a accountant in West Hartford. He was a D2 scholarship basketball player at Franklin Pierce. Mm-hmm. And I completely had forgotten about the story.
Yeah, he says, you got to hear this story.
Yeah. Well, I told him, I said, wait, because I already knew. And I was like, I'm going to get Steve. So I brought Steve over because I said, I have so many of these stories in my life that without a witness, no one would ever believe. So this is the best grade I ever got in college, Bax.
Okay.
Do you remember your best grade that you ever got?
Yeah, I got an A on an exam once for something I didn't actually study for.
It's a great feeling, right?
It's like it's like you've won the jackpot.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you my best A+ that I ever got in college. When I went to school, Franklin Pierce College, which is like summer camp up on the beautiful shores of Pearly Pond in Ringe, New Hampshire.
Like high school with ashtrays.
Correct. Actually, yeah. I was talking about that. When I started high school, our cafeteria, just to put it in perspective, or when I started college, our cafeteria was full smoking, And if you were a non-smoker, there was one little side room off to the side for you. Everyone else just would sit after dinner and rip butts and drink coffee until they kicked us out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Good times. But we had a curriculum at our college called the Individual in the Community. They made you take all sorts of different courses. So I took an Introduction to Arts course that we were mandatorily told we had to take. Now, you can imagine Lou's an accountant, so Lou has zero interest in art or arts whatsoever. But he was in my class, and we had a professor. I'll say his name because his name was Bob Lawson, and he was an accomplished director in New York City, off Broadway, everything else. So our first class, he sits us all down and says, "What is art? Define what art is for me." So everyone goes around the room saying what they think art is. And then we all get done. He goes, "Wrong." He's just cutting people off. Wrong. I think art's painting. Wrong. I think art's this. So I get to me and I said, "I don't know if any one person can really define art, Bob." And he goes, "Wrong." I said, "Well, then you're the professor. By all means, why don't you tell all of us what art is?" And Bob was like kind of this artsy guy. And he goes, "Art, man, is anything that's original. It's also anything that asks a question. And it's also anything that evokes an emotion. That's what art is." And I go, "Wrong." And Bob goes, "No, that is, if you want to pass my class, that's what art is." So I said, "Okay, fair enough." So I sat there quiet for the rest of the semester, just listening to Bob pontificate about what art is. And for our final, everyone could do a final art project. They could either perform it live or they could put a video in. Back then, you had a VHS, so that tells you how old we are. So everyone did their projects, and I made sure that I saved mine for last. And this is what Lou was referring to. I just had this big grin on my face as I rolled over the TV monitor and put the video in. Now, Bob had a car, brand new, that he had just bought. It was a Subaru, and that was his world. All he talked about for the whole semester was his stupid Subaru and how great he loved his car and how good it was in the snow and blah, blah. So
was that going to be on the test?
Yeah, well, pretty much you'd be like, what? So I put a video in. The video opens up, zooms in on my partner, Mike, for my project, who was just juggling oranges and reciting Shakespeare. And then it zooms out, and I changed the words. It was like, "Come and let me," and then I changed it to "pee on thee."
Okay.
And then it zooms out, and then it zooms in on Bob's Subaru, and then it zooms in on the license plate, and I said, "This is Bob Lawson's brand new Subaru," and zoomed in on the license plate. "Bob, is this your license plate?" Blah, blah, blah. And you start to see the concern in his face. And then it zooms into a video clip that we edited in of me and my art project partner peeing into a beer pitcher, filling it all the way to the brim. And then, and then at the crescendo of the poem, I pour it all over the entire car from the top.
Yeah, very Lady Gaga-like.
Yeah. And then I just look at the camera and I go, "And that, Bob, is art." And then it cuts to black. And he's like, what's wrong with you? Something's wrong with you. You are, what kind of, why would you do? I go, "Bob," I said, "I'll refer to your first class when you told me art was original. Pretty original to have a guy juggling oranges and reciting Shakespeare. Is it not, Bob? Have you ever seen that before?" "No." "Okay." I said, "And you seem very upset that I poured urine all over your car, huh, Bob?" Yeah, I'm very upset." And I said, "And I know everyone in this room, including yourself, is going, why would this idiot do that to the guy who can impact his grade more than anybody else?" And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, that raises a question. So by your definition, Bob, I have created a masterpiece of art. And I will settle for nothing less than an A+.
It definitely invoked
Wow.
emotion.
That's and what did you get? Fourth grade.
I got the most begrudging A+ I had ever gotten.
See? Yeah.
Well worth it. And to this day, 30 some odd years later, Lou comes to a show and he goes, I'll never forget you totally getting the best of Bob Lawson in that art class.
Very nice.
That's when I called over Nagle.
Very nice.
I like
It's a
that.
beautiful
my best
story.
grade.
That's heartwarming. Give me a tissue to mop my eyes.
See, you should tell that on stage when you.
Yeah, I'll probably say it much dirtier, but
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah.
I might. Maybe I'll do it on the 28th. We'll see. You know.
Well, I was wondering how you were going to edit it because I heard the dirty version on
Yeah,
Saturday
the
night.
dirty version. Much funnier.
Yeah, much funnier. Yeah, you're no Leslie Robb, I'll tell you.
No.
that.
No, well, you're not.
She was great. I listened to her.
Yeah, she was
pretty
She
good.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But
But she's clean. She runs clean.
Yeah, which, you and I probably aren't the cleanest comics in the business, but,
But you're not the filthiest ones either.
No, and if we have to be, I've worked clean for corporate stuff and everything else. It's fine.
What's clean mean? That's
That's
kind
a
of where I
great-
have a problem with the definition of that.
Well, it's a great question for comedians because a lot of comedians would be like, I work clean, but it's like, no, you just changed all the terrible stuff in your joke to like different words, but you're still talking about like defecating, like
right.
You're it's the same bit, but just terrible.
Different words.
Right.
Yeah.
No, clean is like your kids can watch you perform and be okay with it, or HR won't call you in on the carpet.
What's the the one bit you do with it where you're like, "Well, kids, let's talk about notebooks," or
Oh, hey, yeah, you want to talk about protractors?
protractors.
Those
yeah.
are crazy,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Pencil cases. Have you seen these things?
That's what you got to do when you do at college nowadays, because if you say the wrong thing in college, because it's like, oh my God, you hurt my feelings. I'm so offended. You've triggered my PTSD and my emotional trauma.
Then you shouldn't have gone to college, and you shouldn't have gone to a comedy show.
Right, you're like, I tried to tell you a joke. Sorry there, champ. It's okay.
Mechanical pencils. Do these things suck or what?
Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Marty Caproni's in the studio. It's 8:23 on Rock 102. It's 8:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
The Wing Thing is coming back this Saturday at a brand spanking new location, the Young Building at the Big E in West Springfield, brought to you by Aqua Pump and Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements. Tickets are on sale now at rock102.com. Buy yours now before the price goes up at the door, because we are jacking the price up sky high. Admission includes your parking, all the wings, all the hors d'oeuvres, live music from Moose and the High Tops, plus beverages for sale from Wachusett Brewing Company. Get you a good time with Wachusett Blueberry Ale and other things too. It's the Wing Thing, tossed and sauced by Log Rolling Catering, this Saturday, the 16th at the Young Building at the Big E, part of the Classic Rock Summer from Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
Marty Caproni in the studio.
Yes.
With us this morning. A show on the 28th at the Shortstop.
Show on the 28th. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I was just telling you off the air, and you saw the video this morning about my daughter who was asking for a nose ring and made this compelling video to me, pleading to get this nose ring when she turns 14, which was just a few months away. And we have fun. She knows it's not going to happen, but the challenge is now, I swear I'm going to convince you to do this.
Right.
And I put the video up. I was talking about this morning, about putting the video up. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
The answer's already no. It's more to get engagement because we're blended everywhere here at Rock 102. And most people are pretty on par. We're like, you know what? Wait till the kid's 18, maybe 16. People chiming in with reasonable remarks. And then there's one woman going, her body, her choice. I'm like, what? She's 13. It's not a baby. It's a nose ring. There's a whole.
Because the internet sucks. That's why.
Yeah, but it's like the idea that you give freedom to a 13-year-old. Like, here's a piercing gun. Godspeed, kid. You do it yourself.
I was going to comment, but I didn't. I was going to say, fine, you can have the piercing, but you have to do it however your dad will put it out to a poll. So, like, first option would be you pierce it with a BB pistol. Second option, maybe like a fishing hook, where you hook up the fishing hook and you cast it through the nose. I had all these great ideas.
Or a swing line.
Yeah, there you go.
Staple it right to your face. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like anyway.
Air nailer, air nailer also an option.
There you go. With an air compressor too, to make sure it gets right through.
Right.
One of the big things that really gets me to not want her to do this is the infection rates. Have you seen these pictures of these people who it just takes one little non-cleaning of that stud to turn into, and they had these pictures, lady with the stuff all over her face like she had impetigo or something like that.
Oh yeah. I had that once.
Impetigo?
I had it too.
Impetigo.
Is
I got
it
that
Tigo
one.
or Tigo?
No,
Tigo.
I thought it was the eye of the Tigo. That was
no, different.
I got it when I was like maybe whatever, 7th grade or something. Playing with my friends, in the dirt, whatever. I don't know. Next thing you know, I got a cut. Next thing you know, it looks like my face is opening up and spiders are going to come out, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
And you could tell her, your friend who's not a doctor but stayed at a Holiday Inn last night, said your nose, believe it or not, the tip of your nose houses the Staphylococcus virus, which is
Staph infection, right?
Staph infection.
Yeah.
So you're putting a hole right near to where the Staphylococcus virus is. So you're just inviting a really serious infection. And by the way, when you get an infection in your head, you're that much closer to the brain and everything else. So they have much less time to catch things before stuff starts going awry.
This is what it looks like.
Ooh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
disgusting.
There's also, I don't know if you're aware of this, there is a danger triangle of the face, like that extends from like the bridge of the nose to the bottom of the top lip. And the reason they call it the danger triangle is that is where the most amount of infection can occur.
Sure.
And oftentimes that when an infection does occur, because it's so close to the proximity of the brain, big problems can occur. So yes, it's the nose. Yes, it's a tongue ring. It's something coming out of your lip. Whatever. Well, you have to be willing to accept the fact that if you're going to get an infection, it could be very, very serious.
When I look at you're talking about danger triangle, and I'm looking at your face, Bax, and I realize you're a handsome man. Your face is very symmetrical.
Well, thank you, Marty.
So you have a danger triangle. My face is not what you'd call I have a danger rhombus, I think, on my face. It's all lopsided off the side.
It's the parallelogram that people have a real problem with. You're absolutely right.
But no, you're right. And Steve, my advice to you, I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's your kid. You do whatever you want. But I would advise against taking any parenting advice from TikTok or Instagram ever about anything.
But that was the thing. Like I said, it was an entertainment piece. If you really watch the entire video, you'd know, okay, this is a joke. This is just something. But people take it so seriously. So serious.
I wonder if that lady who was yelling so much about her body hair, Joyce, was also one of the ones that was like, if you're not vaccinated, the hospital shouldn't treat you.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's the same group.
Same group.
It's 8:31. We got news next on Rock 102. 8:35 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Yankee Home Improvement. Time for that new bathroom remodel. Yankee Home is offering tax-free savings all month long, plus 50% off installation with 0% down and no payments for 12 months. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Rejoice! It is finally here. Officials broke ground at the site of the brand new truck stop and travel center on Burnett Road in Chicopee, next to the Mass Turnpike entrance.
Thank God we all survived long enough to see this day happen.
It's the start of a new chapter in Western Massachusetts, as professional truck drivers and other travelers going through our area will soon be able to stop at a pilot travel center where the lot lizards are a lot classier than they are at the Pride Station.
I can't wait for this place to open. I'm waiting for truckers all day long. I got here early.
Local developer and entrepreneur Dinesh Patel has owned an 89-acre piece of land next to I-90's on- and off-ramp on Burnout Road since April of 2000. Now he finally will have a business in the spot.
Marty, you're a resident of the city of Chicopee.
Oh, I'm one better than that, Bax. I grew up off Burnett Road.
Is that a fact?
Yes.
So this must be the biggest of big days for you.
Well, let me tell you what everyone who lives off Burnett Road is thinking right now. Bleepity bleep, 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 bleep. They're very upset. I can put money on it.
It's already busy anyway. What's the difference? What's adding another truck stop?
You know, Steve, you say that, but I'm going to build a truck stop in Huntington, right next to your house.
No, we already chased that forestry company out of town.
Yeah,
we can chase the pilot. We can chase the pilots out of town.
But think of the convenience this provides for you, Marty. You get to get gasoline, you get to get cigarettes, a lottery ticket, chlamydia, right?
Yeah.
No, you know
that's on my checklist too. Oh my God, we shop at the same store.
Listen, I'm torn about this, and I'll tell you, as a guy who spends a lot of time on the road driving and has driven all over this great country. I've been to a lot of truck stops. You know, you go up to Love's where the lady at Subway thought Steve and I were on a gay date.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I'm not convinced you weren't.
Well, hey, the jury's out. But
hey, I had that sticker in my car: ass, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free. So,
and I was
you
wearing
were out of gas money.
I was wearing a shirt that said $20 is $20.
Right.
Yeah. So there's I will say this Pilot does a good job with their truck stops. Generally speaking, a lot of the Pilot ones are nice. But I'll tell you what the people on Burnett Road are probably concerned about is. And I would have to look at it before I could pass judgment on it. If it's preventing the trucks from coming onto Burnett Road and they just come directly off the pike in there, then that might actually alleviate some of the traffic pressure on Burnett Road, which would be nice. But if it doesn't and they're coming off, it's going to be a holy nightmare. And every politician who's been elected from Ward 6, and I'll hold my tongue on some of it, but they always say, we're going to fix the traffic, we're going to do it, and it just gets worse and worse.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be great. You know what? I think you're going to probably go there plenty of times and say, this is fantastic. I sure am going to enjoy myself a good gas station sandwich or like a bag of pickled eggs.
No, Pilot actually puts restaurants in some of their stops that are actually really good, you know? Truck drivers like a good meal, like a good dinerish meal. Like the 50s diner at Pride was always very good.
You know,
really? You thought that was? I never thought that was.
You didn't like it?
Great shakes over there.
Some truck stop restaurants, depending on where you go, are fantastic.
Sure.
Like the truckers are like so happy to get a good meal as opposed to eating like a box of ring dings in the front seat of their cab.
Nailed it. You know what else too? If you ever have an opportunity to go to any type of diner that's located at like a little regional airport, you know what I'm talking about? Like Westchester, Block Island, those little airports and those spots, they have diners. The diners will be out of control good.
Really?
Because people will fly in for them.
Yeah. I don't know. I ate at south of the border. Down you ever go to that?
Oh,
there was a supposedly a world-class steakhouse, which just meant that they went to a world-class market and bought steakums and served it up as meals.
I mean, that's on you. If you see all those billboards and you're like, I'm hungry, this must be a great place, that's on you.
Well, I felt that I, needed to evacuate the bowels, and what better place to do that than a shady truck stop steakhouse?
He does bring up a good point.
Then 10 miles down the road, you evacuate him again. That's,
With Pedro saying, "Hey, amigo, this is where you stop to go to the bathroom."
Years ago, the late John Madden would never fly. He would take this RV and drive across America to every game. And there was, I was living in Illinois at the time, central Illinois, which is a vast wasteland of absolute nothing. You think nothing has happened in this part of the country? You ain't seen nothing yet. He mentioned about this truck stop restaurant, and he raved about it. And so a couple of friends of mine, we decided, well, we got to go. If John Madden said it's great, it's got to be great. Place is an absolute dump. Like, it was like, I mean, like 1950s decor, stuff falling off the walls, absolutely filthy. God damn it, if that food wasn't fantastic.
Yeah.
He had it right.
And
I'm telling you what, I am not afraid of truck stops after eating there, because that was fantastic.
I love diners in general. Probably, to me, one of my favorite diners ever is Al's in Chicopee.
That's a good place.
Right before the bridge there where you're going to Holyoke.
Oh, yeah.
Al's, unbelievable. I mean, affordable, cash only. You know what I mean? Just like a good old-fashioned what diners used to be diner. I love that.
I guess hard to argue with that.
No.
Sometimes that's the best stuff.
I just picture John Madden see right here we got the and doing the circle with the pen and the whole.
It was the kind of place where, like, if you ordered the mashed potatoes, it took up half the plate.
Yeah.
And the gravy was like all over the place. Like the gravy you could drink as a beverage. It was so good.
If you ever go to Rochester,
New
York, you got to go to Nick's. You get yourself a garbage plate. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of the garbage plate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, disgusting to look at. But at 2 a.m. after the bars, it is the best thing.
Don't judge.
Eat.
Don't judge.
The place I went to last week, when I was in Syracuse last week, there's a diner near my brother's house that we went to, and they have the frittatas.
Oh, yeah,
Which is like 18 eggs and a bunch of meat and vegetables and potatoes and all that stuff in there. I only got like maybe a quarter of it. Through it. It's so much food, but at least you have something to take home. But they also make that garbage plate there.
Yeah.
That's almost kind of like the same thing. It's just stuff layered on top of each other versus all scrambled in an egg scramble thing.
It's like sausage and potato and
it's so good.
Oh, good goodness.
If you're a Greenfield resident, the city is asking you to conserve water in these dry conditions. While the state hasn't issued a drought warning, city officials say they're taking precautions to ensure the water supply is sustainable for all residents. They say the DPW has stopped drawing water from the Green River, doing it to being at a low level. Well, it's also green. Maybe that's why they weren't drinking it. But the pubic also plays a role in water conservation.
Steve, I believe that's pronounced public.
Well, not according to Western Mass News. It says pubic. Residents are also asked to postpone non-essential water use like washing your car and to limit outdoor watering for lawns and gardens. You can also save water by taking shorter showers, minimizing toilet flushing, and only running full loads in your dishwasher and your washing machine. All right.
I was willing to comply with everything you just said until you said slowing down the frequency of toilet flushing. I got to draw the line on that.
Well, you let it fill up, and then once a day you flush the toilet after everybody has used it.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to flush it every time I use it.
Well, the pubic disagrees with you.
Well, my pubic is very familiar with the real estate over there and will flush every single time.
I wonder that's why where the pubic gathers is that's why town hall smells like Axe body spray.
Sometimes
do they adjourn the meeting going bow chicka wow wow?
No, because that's the official scent of Greenfield.
Oh, Axe body spray.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Monster energy drinks and Axe body spray.
That's exactly right.
Welcome to Greenfield, bitch. Now come and join us at our pubic meeting down the street tonight.
Hang on, I'll be right there. I got to throw a full load in my dishwasher.
Yeah, what you do all day? I hung outside the BJ's.
Yeah.
That was false advertising.
You got to throw a full load in your dishwasher.
Hey, that's no way to talk about your wife. Whoa,
Hey, Jeanette can do whatever she wants to do.
No regrets.
Yeah,
That's all I think of.
regrets.
I think of that scene when I think of Greenfield.
What? For what?
Remember the movie, the guy with the mullet, and he's got the tattoo, and it says no regrets? I always think of that. Like, whenever I hear something in Greenfield that's crazy, like some kind of opiate bust or whatever, that's what I always think of in my head.
Well, the pubic is very upset, and they want to get wet.
And you don't want an angry pubic, trust me that.
No.
They need that water. They need to stay wet.
You've got to conserve and shave. I mean, safe.
Yeah.
They have a cat cafe that's just opened in Greenfield. I wanted to go see. I was going to get a coffee and sit with a cat, but you got to pay money to...
Isn't that called Chin Yen 2?
No, Steve. I think that's a different restaurant.
This is where the cats actually roaming around. Oh, okay.
They're not being served. Well, they're being served, but not being served.
Well,
They're roaming peacefully, not for their life.
Yeah, well, remember Foodie Goody for a while? We didn't have a cat problem here in Springfield at all.
It's terrible.
Yeah, your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be, cloudy, and then some thunderstorms this afternoon with a high of 90. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 85. It is 73 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
It's 8:49 with Bax and Nagle and Marty Caproni on Rock 102.
I just gave you the forecast.
Let me see here. Hey, did you see the story? I posted this yesterday. I can't even believe this. Massachusetts has been ranked the best place to live in America in 2025, according to a new study. The personal finance website Wallet Hub on Monday unveiled the 2025 best states to live in, and Massachusetts was ranked as the number one.
Citing what criteria?
Affordability, economy, health and education, quality of life, and safety. And my question is, were the other 49 states not considered?
Affordability makes me wonder what the heck's going on
I mean,
in the other 49.
Well, affordability, they ranked 44th. But they ranked number 1 in health and education, number 6 in quality of life and safety, and economy, number 9. But number 1 as like the best place to live in America. That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, and here in Springfield, in Hampden County, 1 and 2 are suffering from food insecurity.
What a great place to live.
Yeah.
What a great place to be.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sourced, some guy's opinion. That's
so according to some man on the street.
Yeah. I would have thought someone would, if someone had said like Maine or New Hampshire or Vermont,
outside of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, no other New England state ranked in the top 10.
Really?
Really. And in fact, I think Connecticut ranked like 14th. And I think that was like the next best one.
I don't buy that.
The whole thing sounds like a phony scam to me, but number 1, we got our good points and our bad points, but I mean not number 1. You can't tell me we're better off than say, Hawaii or
there's a good one.
Hawaii. I go to Hawaii.
I would imagine probably a pretty healthy place to live too.
Lots of sunshine,
right?
Occasional volcano, but other than that, you're good.
Good environment.
Yeah, well,
that's it, man. That's it.
Good places to live. Come on, this is a fine place to live. What are you talking about? You're kind of putting it down.
I'd rather be in this part of the state than the eastern part. Having driven through Boston as many times as I have in the last 30 days.
Listen,
dude, I got to tell you that I don't know how. I do not know how people put up with it because it was driving me crazy to drive through, 93 or 128.
We're so spoiled here that on a Friday, sometimes occasionally traffic will get thick where the 291 goes into 91 merger.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll have like 6 minutes and I'll be like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Then it takes me one trip to Boston, and for the next 6 months, I'm like, God, thank you. I love where I live. God.
Well, any major city, like even Providence or any of those areas where there is a high population of people, there's more jam going up there. I was telling him the other day, down in Atlanta,
the worst.
That is the worst.
Yep.
And it's like 2 miles takes you 40 minutes to get to get where you're going.
I had a show once at this Collindale Performing Arts Center in Atlanta, and my hotel was 5 miles away, 6 miles away, something like that. And I always like to get there an hour early to a gig. And the guy came. I was going to be an hour and a half early, and the guy came and he was like, "We should make it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then halfway through it, we had gone 2 miles in almost an hour, and I was like, and the guy's like, "Well, the bridges are out, and this and that, and this bridge is out, and that we have a," and I was like, "Should I just walk the rest of the way?" He's like, "Nah, I'll get you there. But I figured it out. I did the math. If I had just walked, it would have been about the same time.
Yeah, it's funny because we're like less than 30 days away from the Big E.
Oh yeah,
and like that Big E traffic.
Oh, the worst.
It's the worst.
Yep.
But so that's like 3 weeks out of the year. People in Boston deal with that every single day.
Yep.
That's the kind of traffic I'm talking about.
Yeah, the blood pressure score to anyone that lives out and deals with that traffic every day has to be like 20 points higher.
Ugh,
You know what I mean?
it's unbelievable.
There should be more emergency exits along the Mass Pike. You know, when you got a traffic backup or a crash that happened, you know, a 6-car crash or whatever, how horrible that is, you got to get, the first responders to take care of all that stuff. But for the rest of the traffic to be sitting there in 6 hours, there should be more outlets for people to get off.
You would see back in the day when the exits were all staffed by, some politician's brother-in-law and this one and that one. And those guys all made like $70,000 a year doing.
Yeah.
Now it's all technology. It's Easy Pass. It doesn't cost anything to put an exit ramp in and put an Easy Pass up. I'm surprised they haven't done it for where you live, Huntington, Beckett, that area.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Well, if you're really lucky, the gate to the back of the Blandford Service Plaza is sometimes open.
Ooh.
But you never know. See, that was the thing. I was coming back last week, and I'm like, you know how much easier it would be for me to drive to the Blandford Service area and just get off and be home in 10 minutes, from that location, as opposed to driving through Lee and, slowly through Beckett and all that stuff. I did it once, and it was glorious.
This
sounds so
awesome.
It's got to cut. For you, it's got to cut like 15, 20 minutes off your commute.
Absolutely. And that would be ideal if we had that kind of thing. But they don't want that out there in the hills because that brings more.
Well, but the city folk.
It does. It does. And you know what? There's a reason why people live out there is because they don't want to deal with all that.
But we've said it a million times. Yeah. I mean, it makes no sense that you've got almost, 45 miles between Westfield and Lee?
30 miles.
Whatever it is. It's a ridiculous amount of space to have no exit.
Right. But you want to know why we can't have an exit? Because Steve's on his porch in his rocket chair being like, I don't want my daughter getting no fancy nose ring like these cities folk. That's what happens. I'll drive the extra half hour.
It's like the Tommy Boy thing. You put a Mass Pike exit in here, and that's when the whores move in. We're going to have all kinds of problems here. I don't think they're ever going to do that. Ever going to put it in.
I don't know why they don't, though. To me, it's so simple for them.
My understanding is, because remember they were talking about putting the casino in Palmer?
Right.
That would have required
a special exit.
Like a special exit. Yeah. And apparently, according to state law, the only way to get another exit on the Pike would be by a legislative action.
Yeah.
And you can't get those people to commit to anything.
Well, this is the problem. This is why, remember when you and I solved the traffic in Springfield?
Yeah.
With the Bax and Nagle Caproni tunnel?
Yeah.
Putting all of 91 underground and then taking the waterfront back for the city and having the casino be basically waterfront property, how great that would be. That's a great idea, but it won't happen because the legislature is not stocked with Western Mass people, so they don't see the point in spending money for things out here.
I mean, you'll put a tunnel through Boston at a drop of a hat, or find some other way for people to get around Worcester, but not here.
In Boston, they'll put a tunnel under the harbor and not even think twice. But here, we're just like, hey, can we just have a little tunnel, just a little
mini one, like 1 mile,
a little 3 mile tunnel?
Yeah, it wouldn't have to be 3 miles. Like a mile and a half would probably be enough.
A little dig.
A baby dig.
A tiny dig. Yeah, tiny dig.
The baby dig.
Yeah, a micro dig.
But how, it's also how sustainable is the ground, though, to do that? There's all these factors that go into it that we have no understanding of how things are designed to do that.
Well, you get dig safe out there, but tell you whether you can dig down there.
Yeah, but you can dig anywhere.
Yeah, but look at the tunnel in Boston. Remember the piece of tile fell from the ceiling because of the unstable ground? And
one time
somebody dies.
Yeah. But
it didn't kill everybody.
Right. We're just saying, Steve, that it would be nice for Springfield to have a waterfront back. You're going to blow up that courthouse there that gets everyone sick, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, at some point.
So
we're supposed to get a new building.
You could literally well, our new building should be on the waterfront. Then you should do that down there.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be on the waterfront.
Right across from beautiful Bondi's Island.
Listen, we'll be lucky if we get across a view of the DPW somewhere.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be really refreshing.
Who doesn't want to see a salt mine?
Oh man, what a beautiful payloader that is across the street.
All right.
We'll have more with Marty Caproni. It's 8:59 at Rock 102.